Hey everyone, welcome back. I wasn't planning on shooting this video, but I think it kind of makes sense to come out and tell you a little bit more about what I just heard on Bloomberg and also the kind of latest that happened in the market. So Wall Street Journal came out and gave a article or published an article saying that the Fed might announce a 75 basis point increase as early as this Wednesday. And I feel Fed will not come out and announce something if Wall Street Journal is not going to come out and print an article like that if the Fed hasn't tipped them off. I think Fed is tipping them off to avoid the shock the market might have on Wednesday because everybody was expecting 50 basis point increase this time and another 50 two other times. But I think Fed kind of leaked this to Wall Street Journal so that the news can come out towards the end. You see the timing here, towards the end of the day. When the market was already down, they're like, okay, it can further go down a few percentage points. But if the market would have recovered a little bit tomorrow, and then if this news would have come out on Wednesday, market would have tanked even more. So to kind of soften the blow, I think Fed has released this where they're saying that we are going to have a 75 basis point increase this month, and then another 275 basis point increase for the next two meetings. That's my opinion. I haven't read anything, but just my opinion that Fed has to take drastic measure and push us into recession to calm the inflation out because inflation is running too high right now. And we cannot continue to work with this kind of inflation numbers. And for that, Fed has to shock and Fed has to come out and do something drastic. And this is the drastic measure. They cannot come out and give us a 100 basis point or 1% increase for the next three meetings, but 75 is absolutely going to happen this Wednesday. That's Wall Street Journal just reported that. And I think a company like or a paper like Wall Street Journal is not going to come out and report just on speculation. I think they're hearing this and they're seeing it, that we are going to see a 75 basis point increase as soon as this Wednesday. Now, some of it has already been priced in, and that's why when the news came out, when it came out, I feel like, okay, this was a kind of a timed news, okay? It came out and then, yeah, sure. But I think we are going to see a lot more when Jerome Powell will speak. I think he's going to mention the word recession, and he's going to talk about how they are going to basically control the recession, inflation by pushing the recession or forcing the recession. The unemployment, by forcing unemployment, they are going to basically come out and actually say the word this time in the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be one of those things that we all have to keep an eye out for. But in my previous video, as I discussed, that S&P still has about 7 and 8% to go, probably less now. Towards the close, it kind of sold off. Today, it was down like 4%. And we finally officially ended years-long bear market. Bull market, bear market. I wish if you would have entered the bear market. We just entered the bear market. On an average, the bear market has lasted about 11 months. Sometimes it has lasted almost 30 months, like 2008 financial crisis, and sometimes it lasted like 1 month, like 2020 crash. So we are going to see, we don't know how long this bear market is going to last, but once the bear market enters, like we have entered today was the end of the bull market. We entered a bear market. Expects the volatility to be like this, or I would say the stock not to do well. Those who actually don't make any product and services that make money, those companies will get trashed. So we are going to see this very, I would say, common. So companies that doesn't make money right now and are in losses, their valuation will get cut even more and they will suffer even more. Value companies like Apple's and Google's and all, they will suffer a lot too. So I feel that once we, like the way we entered the bull market, this bear market is also going to end, and bear market are shorter than bull market, thank goodness, right? But since we are officially into it, we cannot deny what's ahead of us. So my thing is that when FOMC comes out, there are three things that I want to look at. Number one is that what kind of rate hikes they talk about in the next two meetings, because market is forward looking, right? Like what happened today. Okay, they're coming out in 2 days and they will give us a 75 basis point increase. The whole market went crazy. Okay, it was already dropping before, but for the news to come out at that time, it was very interesting. Number two, that when Fed comes out and they basically, or Jerome Powell comes out and they mention the word recession, how powerful and strong they are to take the recession head on is going to be really important, because they have to bring the inflation down and they have to do something really drastic. And I do want them to do something really drastic now, because we have had enough of this lingering where Fed is not doing enough. Like any analyst, any CNBC contributor that I listen to, they all talk about Fed has been behind the curve. Fed is not doing enough. Fed is not, whatever the Fed case is. And I think Fed finally is going to come out and they're like, okay, we are going to take care of this inflation by pushing the recession. So we are going to see some very interesting fact. Also, SoFi news. SoFi, Anthony Noto, just bought, I think, 400 some thousand more shares or something like crazy. I just got a news alert. I don't know the exact number. But that shows that companies, those who are basically doing well, those who have a bright future, people are going to DCA. Insiders are going to buy. So pay attention to the insider buying in this time, especially in the bear markets, because in bear markets, companies, those who are really doing well internally, and the folks that works in the company, they know that they are firing on all the cylinders. It's just the economy is bad, the market is bad, and that's why they are not basically, the stock is not doing well. They will continue to come out and they will continue to support the market, which is very, very, I would say, interesting and very, very cool thing to kind of play in this time, because we don't know, right? We don't know if a Google is a better buy, or Amazon is a better buy, or Apple is a better buy, or Tesla is a better buy. We don't know that because everything is hurting right now. But once this bear market ends, and it's going to end, I mean, no doubt or no question in my mind, it's going to end soon. This is the election year. I'm looking at all these things. This is the election year. Democrats will go crazy, or will be finished if they don't really curb the inflation or bring down the inflation. And then if recession happens, wow. So this year is not a typical recession inflation year that we had in the past. And that's my next video, where I'm going to study the years where the recession inflation happens, the timeline along with the election, because that's, again, a very important part. So I think we are going to see this where insiders are coming out, like Anthony Noto bought more shares. He's been buying all this time because he knows that $5, $6 is a deep value for SoFi. He's going to continue to go well and continue to buy. And then we have to see what other insiders are buying as well. So I will definitely make videos. And if these kind of videos interest you, then definitely subscribe, because I feel the time that we are in right now, it's golden opportunity for us long-term investor. I'm not talking to you short-term investors, because I know short-term is getting killed right now. Even the long-term is getting killed. But I'm mainly talking about people, those who have 5 to 10 year horizon, that this is the time when we can have absolutely increase the size of our portfolios by little money. I'm not talking about by millions, even $100 buys every month, slowly every week. It's going to add up when we hit that end the bear market and go into the bull market. You're going to see the value of your portfolio just increase. And I know some of you have lost a lot of money, and I also in the same camp. I also lost a lot of money, and I'm continue to lose money. I have some very I would say huge options. I have like 100 calls, I have 100 puts, I have like, on SoFi, I have like Matterport puts for 2024. They are 95% down, they're 96% down. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, they're done. They're done. There is no way for me to sit back and say, you know what, they're gonna recover. They're gonna recover. I'm waiting for that little bounce that we're gonna get, once this is all Fed drama is done, and then get out of those. And for my main buying, as I said, DCA is the name of the game, where you continue doing DCA. But for my main buying, I'm going to actually, wait to see how the stock market turns, how the sentiment turns, because I am a big believer in stock market sentiment, because at a certain point, the TA just doesn't work, and there comes the sentiment. But right now, TA is in full force. I'm telling you, this is the time when you really need to pay attention to TA. Algos are kicking it, are killing it. The video that I shared this morning, if you haven't watched it, watch that video where I'm talking about how algo selling happened right at the opening. Computers are taking over right now. But turn will come where emotions will take over as well, where people will be like, you know what, this is deep value, I need to buy some. Until then, keep working hard, keep making that money, keep bringing that paycheck, and then the time will come where we can just go in and go shopping. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and this is of course a quick update on what I just saw in Wall Street Journal, and also my take on. And I will do a deep dive on FOMC expectations tomorrow, so that on Wednesday we are better prepared of what to expect. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.